Hi Taurus, and welcome to your 2020 year ahead forecast. This is Sky here to speak a little bit about the collective energies and actually really awesome transits, astrology, and tarot insights, as well as a bit of channeled insights too into your incredible energy. So I've been feeling your energy as I've sort of stepped into it today to record your year ahead forecast, and it is so powerful and it makes sense. I mean, if you think of the astrology, there's so much Earth in 2020. It is an Earth year for sure. We know we have Jupiter in Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn, Uranus in your sign of Taurus, and Pluto in Capricorn as well. So when we go into the Earth seasons, your time of the year, and especially Virgo season, once we get into all the Earth trines, all of the Earth signs are going to be super hyper activated and, really making those changes to their lives and consolidating and merging and transitioning. All of those things are going to be your experience coming up. I just think the energy is really cool. I think you're a trendsetter this year. I think that you are, really having an interesting impulse, having an interesting pulse point really into the collective conscious, which just means that you're, basically a symbol for a lot of people. A lot of people are, wanting things for you or wanting things vicariously through you. Uranus is in your sign, so this is a interesting time, especially if you had like Leo rising or Aquarius, Scorpio, or Taurus rising, any of the fixed rising signs. It's a really interesting time to pursue some type of public career, even like you would do well in politics or anything that deals with diplomatic communication. You are really a voice right now for a lot of people, is why. Taurus is the neck and the throat that is your part of the body, and so when you are activated, your communication is how a lot of energy plays out. So that can make this year go a few different ways depending on where you're at. So truthful, honest, heart-centered Taurus people, what an incredible, beautiful, wealthy, just magical year, okay? For those of you who fixed the wounds relating to honesty, because I know ever since about 2015, Taurus has been having like honesty wounds. Not saying that you're like doing a lot of lying, but I think that there was just a weird thing with honesty for you guys ever since Saturn was in Scorpio, which is even as far back as like 2013. And especially up until the time of now Saturn being in Capricorn. So I think that as this year rolls through and you have all of these trine angles coming in, harmonious, synergistic angles, there's a great opportunity for honesty here. There's a great opportunity for honest communication, for seeing yourself for who you are, for seeing the people around you for who they are. No more convincing yourself or others that people are what they aren't, to make things good and acceptable, or for some even like really playing others down to make themselves feel better. This is a time where you can really drop all of that sort of egotistical pomp, and not just yourself, but maybe even dropping people who really peacock that type of thing. This is a really important year for Taurus to not be gassing up or gassing down, or gassed up or gassed down. What do I mean? It's a really important year to see what is really here, what is really available, what you really have. How much money do you have? How much assets do you have? This is a material year, especially for the earth signs. Some of the earth signs with certain placements, depending on where it's placed, it will transcend the material. But for those of you who at all resonate with lack, or feeling like you haven't had enough money, like you haven't had enough, or like things have been strained or tense or tight, this is a year where there's a lot of focus and a lot of fixing of that. Okay, so fixing those problems, really working on the psychology of lack, really working on the psychology of not enough. You share this in common with both Capricorn and Virgo. All the earth signs will be dealing with this if they haven't already. That's the thing, and that's a lot of what 2020 is for Taurus. It's like the things that you haven't already done, because you want to really be in 2021 and 2022 finishing up the Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn as we keep moving through time. Long time in those especially Pluto and Capricorn. You want to start feeling very powerful in what you have. And again, I'm not talking about ego power. I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm so rich, I'm powerful. It's not that type of power. It's feeling like your environment and your surroundings and the people around you are committed to you and are dialed in. It's not unpredictable. Uranus in your sign adds an element of unpredictability, and you are working on that this year if you haven't already. What you haven't already done, the houses you haven't already sold, the debts you haven't already paid, the relationships you haven't already worked through, the people you haven't already blocked, this type of thing is coming up. And also the truths for some of you that you haven't already accepted. And that just really rings really loud to me when I say that, like as I'm channeling the information in, because this is something that every Taurus goes through. It's sort of like one of your karmic journeys, because again, you are communication. You are on the Scorpio-Taurus axis, so you deal with a lot of karma relating to truth, lies, communication, illusions, reality, and how we build up the world and reality through communication and speaking. That is a lot of Taurus's karmic path. And it is such, I know this is kind of stereotypical or cliche sounding, but it is a karmic year for you. So you're going to be connecting to what your sign represents as karmic. And why is it a karmic year? Because Capricorn is a karma sign. Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto are karma planets, and they're all conjunct in Capricorn. So it's slightly cliche, but it's also like very true that it's a karmic year. So any lies that you told Taurus, now would be a great time to open up and just tell the truth or move on with your life, you know. Any lies that have been told to you by other people, a good time to confront that or move on. Do you see the pattern here? Moving on, not stagnating in delusionment. Okay, not saying that you guys purposefully do that. Nobody does that on purpose, but it's really easy, not just for you guys, but for everyone collectively. Again, you're like a trendsetter. You're really at the front of the collective thing right now. So it's really easy for everyone to not really be sure of their environment, not really be sure of their surroundings, and to think that there might be lies, but not really be sure. And like that's just it's a hellish type of purgatorial experience that can come up if we can't confront or we can't accept. Okay, so you are at the forefront of acceptance this year too. We're really looking to you. I think everybody around you might sort of copy you too. That's something that I sense for Taurus as well. People can kind of mimic or copy you too. So this is a form of flattery. It's not mischievous. It's not at its root malevolent, although it might be annoying if you're like a business person or like doing marketing or something like that, and you feel like a lot of people are copying you and like using your formula. That could happen, but that's just because it's so dang good. You know, it's so good that people want it sets a new trend. So really watch out for that. Sometimes fixed signs can get like really perturbed by being copied, but again, imitation is flattery for you guys. So if people are sort of dressing the way that you dress, or if people are kind of using your methods for, you know, studying or doing your job, it's really it's like a congratulations. Like, wow, you're doing something so good that people are accepting that as like the basis, you know, the base formula. So let's see, what else do I have written down here for you guys? You do have to watch out a little bit for that impulse, like I was talking about. Some of you could come into money this year. Some of you could inherit. Some of you could get huge raises, having more means than you've ever had before, some of you. So watch out for impulses relating to that, because again, Jupiter is coming through and connecting to that Saturn and Pluto power. And for a lot of people, that comes through as money when we're in Capricorn. So yeah, you can win the lottery maybe, or get that huge raise, or, you know, have the real estate that triples in value, all of those types of things. But it can also be quite temporary too. You would want to make sure that it lasts until like 2022. Before you start getting too big for your britches, you know, and like, I am elite now, and then it goes away, and then there's like a lot of debts to be paid. We don't want that for you either. So beware of that impulse. Beware of the impulse to really let the ego play in money or play in power. So watch out for power plays, money plays, ego plays, all of these types of things, because your ego can be super, super activated. And for some of you, it won't even touch you, because you've already overcome that and not really struggling with that. And then for you, it's more about just the simplicity, the serenity of your surrounding environments, the serenity and tranquility of the nice material that you're wearing on your body. It's not about money. It's not about houses. It's not about, you know, all these like 10th house, Capricorn, Saturn, Jupiter things. It's not even about really philosophy anymore. It's just about wow, how incredible it feels to like have a deep breath, you know, and then but still enjoying life and not getting too hyper spiritual with it at the same time. For those of you who are not really struggling with the ego battle, which I think all of us are to some degree, but some way less than others. It's just a really, really beautiful, tranquil year. Okay. So you can all have a piece of that to a degree. Also, it's quite easy to repay debts or anything that you need to repay. The Jupiter trine to your sun in Capricorn and Taurus, or whatever you have in Taurus, it will really make just repayments really easy, giving back really easy, donating really easily. Also, you need to really think about how you're going to maintain what you have. Okay, how are you going to maintain this level of living, this lifestyle? Because there's something about your lifestyle in the year of 2020, especially once we get to March, you know, once we get into the true astrological new year. January to March is not a new energy. January to March is just the ending of the true year cycle. But yet I still do the 2020 year aheads, or I'm trying to this year, before the calendar new year, because it really gives a good time to prepare. And there is still a lot of collective focus into that being the new year. So it's correct to a degree. But by March, you want to really understand how you're going to maintain what you have moving forward, how you're going to keep this, money or, happiness or tranquility or relationship. You know, what does it mean to maintain what you have? And you'll see actually a really nice, enjoyable goal emerge from that. So that can be really nice. There is something about you that will humble other people. You'll quite easily be above other people this year, especially if you have like Leo rising or, again, those fixed ascendants. The way that it orients the chart will really make you just tower over other people, and that will make other people's egos really uncomfortable if they're struggling. So try to be humble. You know, you're really humble anyway. Like, it's not really an issue for you typically, but watch out for peacocking, because that can really push people over the edge, and that's not your problem, but it can be like inconveniences in the future too. So just watch out for peacocking too much. Because again, the Jupiter in Capricorn, like Jupiter in Sag was our time to peacock. Jupiter in Sag over 2019, over Pig Year, was our time to, really, really big crown, wearing the, the really expensive things. And then in the Rat Year, where it becomes much more communal, where the energy becomes much more social, everybody being on the same level, you can see yourself being isolated or stigmatized if you're really sticking out from the rest. And that's, it doesn't mean you have to do that, but I'm just saying, like, you want to watch out for being too, okay, this is bad, but watch out for being too individual. So you have to be individual, okay? Be a closeted individual is really a good thing for 2020 for everybody with Rat Year. You will be called a narcissist if you are looking out for yourself. Even if you're like looking out for your lifeline, people will find that narcissistic this year. So you have to watch out for that, okay? Because Taurus is a self-serving sign, and that is a good thing. It's important. Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, fixed signs, self-serving signs, to a degree. I mean, every sign can be self-serving in other ways, but I'm just saying with Rat Year, Chinese astrology, once we get towards the end of March 2020, Rat Year, people all want to look the same. People want everyone to be from the same surroundings. It is a communistic type of energy line, and so just be aware of that, okay? And how are you going to thrive through that? How are you going to maintain your individuality? How are you going to maintain your self-connection and your closeted individuality? And then you will, of course, have people who defy that, and especially if you're high vibrational right now, like, you might not even really find yourself amongst this sort of like communal thing, and that can be positive in some ways, but it's not so good for your sign, okay? Not so good for Taurus to really be forced to be like everybody else. Not now, not with Uranus in your sign. So really seek out those people who aren't making you be just like them, or who aren't expecting you to dumb yourself down, and you'll feel a lot better this year. I'm going to go ahead and get a tarot card for you guys for the year of 2020. We've already talked for such a long time. Let's see, just one archetype, one concept for moving forward into this year for Taurus. Show me clearly what they need to understand as they navigate this incredible year for them. We have Judgment. Interesting. You see, this is what I'm talking about. It's a huge year. It's a huge transformative, changing year for you. Rags to riches. riches to rags, the healing of an illness. Great for health, a great health year for Taurus. Even if you started to feel bad, or even if something came up, even if you got something bad or something, it would heal you. Okay. It would, through treating it or through overcoming it, you would come out on the other side that much more strong. So there is maybe an obstacle in 2020 for some of you. And an obstacle can be a different thing for different people. For some people, an obstacle is quite an enjoyable thing because it makes all the free time and all the, non-obstacle time that much better. And for other people, obstacles are very, like we do it kicking and screaming, depends on the personality type. But for you, Taurus, there is an obstacle here this year that will give you so much, okay? It will give you so much, and it will give you so much individuality, so much clarity, so much clear voice, clear cut, concise reality check, okay? And also feeling a strong divine spiritual connection as well. You're going to feel connected. You're going to feel motivated. You're going to feel like what you're doing is bigger than you. So that's always very, very empowering. You're not going to feel disconnected or dissociated from what you're doing, or like you're stuck in like a cubicle, forever doing something that's not right. That's not going to be you, not all this year for sure. And if that is you, as you're listening to this, I wouldn't expect it to last much longer. If the universe detects in any way that you're in that mindset of, oh my God, I hate what I'm doing, but I'm still doing it, it's going to take that away real quick. And it's going to be up to you to really start into a new individualistic, personalized, creative career or relationship. Even if you're in a relationship and you're like, oh, I can't handle this person, but I don't want to be single, because Taurus hates being single, especially if it's been making a relationship work for a long time. It's going to take that away pretty quickly, especially by the time we get to March. So expect, March and on, for things that have outlived their time to really not be available anymore, and expect to enjoy the process of finding that which is actually right for you. So beautiful, beautiful, incredible year for Taurus. Probably one of the most activated signs of the year. All the earth signs are super, super activated. So, really work on honest communication, okay? Being truthful with yourself, not needing to lie about other people in your own mind to justify your own actions, or to be like, oh, that person really messed me up in the past, so now I am stuck where I am in debt in a never-ending career, and I'm gonna keep, making them sound bad in my head to justify why I'm here. All of these old ego puzzles that we're doing every single day, they go this year. And then there's like a lot of room to like really start to get a lot stronger and a lot more benevolent and a lot more powerful, okay, a lot more energetic. So beautiful, beautiful year for you guys, and a great time to also let go of any leeches, any parasites, any people who are doing that to you as well, who are lying about who you are in their lives. Again, honest. It's a honesting year. If we're going to make honest a verb, it's a truthing year, an honesting year for you. So how great to finally get back to your vulnerability and to see who you are now. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. Be sure to keep subscribed to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would so appreciate that. If this has resonated and you are new, hit that subscribe button. It's a great free way to say thank you, or to, get these readings in the future as well. I do monthly readings. Currently we are having the 12 days of year ahead reading. So every day there's a new year ahead. You should listen to all of them. Why not? Understand about the people around you, understand about your loved ones, or understand about other aspects of yourself. If you have like different sun, moon, rising, or any other concentrations, it's great to listen to a lot of them, and there's great advice, I hope, in all of them for everybody. So yeah, tomorrow we'll be having Gemini, day after it'll be Cancer, so on and so forth, and they are going up at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time every morning. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, give me some feedback so I can make these better for every month and every year. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I have a Patreon page as well, and an ebook about moon signs. So that will be in the description box below if you wanted to check it all out. Yeah, Taurus, you're incredible. I love you. I kind of wish I was a Taurus this year, to be honest. Although I'm a Scorpio, so it's kind of similar. It's that axis. But yeah, you guys are awesome. Very stylish, very attractive, very popular, potentially. Very, very not beholden to anyone else. Very individual, very, what's the word? Like, I can't think of the word off the top of my head, but it's like the people who set like a trend, like for example, like the smartphone trend, or like I don't know, what are other trends? I don't know, just things that seem dumb at first, but then like take off and become a necessary component of life for a long time or forever. That's what y'all are doing right now. So enjoy that empowerment. We'll be talking soon, Taurus. Much love. Bye.